This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello viewers, thank you for joining us on another exciting edition of your program, Business and Economy Network. My name is still Ohioze Edna. Still on our report on agriculture. Under Spotlight, we bring you the MDCEO, Bank of Agriculture, looking at ways on how we can give out soft loans to farmers. Under Company Focus, we bring you the MDCEO, Kano Agricultural Supply Company. They are into procurement and sales of agricultural inputs to their farmers. And on Straight Talk, we bring you the MDCEO, Nageri Integrated Farms Limited. As it is in our culture, you won't be disappointed. Do stay tuned. We'll be right back. To remain as the keen taproot of agriculture in any nation, the Bank of Agriculture must stick to what it is known best to do, and that is to provide lifelines in the form of finance to agricultural individuals and companies who are able to use these funds judiciously. Most of the beneficiaries of the finance given from Bank of Agriculture are small and medium-sized enterprises.
Put simply, like in all other countries, particularly emerging economies, the Bank of Agriculture is charged with the responsibility of financing agriculture, particularly smallholder agriculture, as well as supporting SMEs. Our general mandate is particularly trying to support agriculture, the whole value chain in agriculture, and support other economic activities that will improve the lots of what you could call the unbankable, those that are excluded from the financial system. Yes.
At this point, the Bank of Agriculture is no longer satisfied with just giving out money to farmers, but also to orientate them and to train them so that they can also embrace technology, which is widely believed will continue to help Nigerian farmers to produce more. Technological platform enable Bank of Agriculture to offer additional services to local farmers.
This is one aspect of it. One aspect of it is there is a mistaken notion that all that is needed is to give the farmer money at low interest rate. Important as that may be, there is equally the importance of getting the farmers to understand agriculture as a business. So the issue of extension services in the different areas that we are trying to support is becoming very important. No question about it, the issue of providing credit at the relevant terms, I mean interest rate and tenure, to suit the different areas of agriculture is of paramount importance to us. But equally important is the idea that we need to properly identify who is the farmer in the Nigerian context. In the past, a lot of the credit, the support that was given simply went to the wrong hands. And this time around, we're introducing the concept of the bank verification number so that farmers are properly identified. We use the biometrics so as to prevent duplications in the first instance. We are also thinking of introducing a new concept which has been tried in places like Zambia and other countries, even Ghana here. This is the idea that if you are a farmer, apart from capturing your biometrics, we are able to capture your land using GPS location. A farmer can come and say, we have 1 hectare, 2 hectares, 5 hectares, but you need to verify this. We can use the GPS location to capture this. So we now have a full picture of the farmer we are dealing with. Now, when we have this data bank of farmers in terms of their biometrics, in terms of their GPS location, we're able now to channel extension services, additional information like when do you plant, when do you weed, when do you harvest. We're also able to monitor what are they likely to produce. So we now see the difference between what they are able to produce and what we are able to support them with in terms of extension services, in terms of credit delivery, and other ancillary services that will make farming profitable.
World Bank has been supporting businesses for decades. Realizing this, Kano State took advantage of the development program back in the 1980s, which subsequently Kano Agricultural Supply Company Limited took advantage of a part of that loan. Kano Agricultural Supply Company Limited was recognized and set apart by the Kano State government to have an infrastructure to aid agricultural development.
Well, the Kano Agricultural Supply Company was a byproduct of World Bank loan. The Kano State government back in 1980 also decided to take a loan from the World Bank. And you know, the World Bank normally, when they want to give such a loan, they want to make sure it is used for the purpose. So they have to come and implement whatever was designed for the purpose of enhancing agricultural development in Kano State. So when they came, there was an ADP, which is the Agricultural Development Project. When later on, as the project was going on, a lot of researches, a lot of activity was going on with the ADP, and then they found out that the ADP was short of commercializing its activity. So they now decided to form Kano Agricultural Supply Company that will be like a company that is purely commercial, limited liability, and that will sell seed, that will sell fertilizer, that will sell agrochemical, that will sell tractors and all agri hardwares. So it begins like that. And then the first managing director, of course, you've seen him, was from Denmark, and then the subsequent one, and then later on, Nigerian begins to take over. So the company, has a long history. Within this period, it will go up, crash, and go up again and crash. So when I came in June last year, I found out the company is not dead when I found the company, but more or less it's in a coma. So even the staff salary cannot be paid. A lot of things doesn't go very well. So when I came in, I now realize that there are experienced staff working, but they lack leadership. And then the whole company become, somehow more or less moving back and front. And we sat down together with the workers. I now told them, look, now the government, the present government is a government of change. We have to change the way we do things. We have to do the best that could benefit the Nigerian population. So now, meanwhile, Ganduje has already told me what to do when we come. He wants us to bring back the company, to make sure the company continue to play its role it has been playing right in the 1980s. And we said yes. I said yes, we can do it. And he gave me all the necessary encouragement. And he said, okay, come, and how much do you require? But meanwhile, government has no money. But what we can give you, the company has about 300 million in its own copper. And then the governor said, okay, we will give you an additional 300 million. And then the total money, we have 600 million. And then we start.
Players in business have to succumb to the call for change, and there is no room for sentiment that may hitherto hinder business growth. In this vein, sourcing for raw materials is very important. One thing that has kept Kano Agricultural Supply Company Limited sustainably is the constant supply of raw materials that the company gets from partners. Having a good source of supply is one of the foremost areas for companies to remain in business even in hard times.
Now, as a staff, since it is a time for change, and an honest change, not a pretentious change. We have to really be on and doing. The issue of I want to help my brother, my sister, my daughter, my this does not arise. Where do you normally buy raw materials to do your blending? Now I was told they buy it from dealers, that dealer, another dealer, another dealer. In fact, we were almost trying to get the source where we buy this raw material. And then eventually we landed with a company in Port Harcourt to supply us urea. That is Notori. So Notori supplied me for about 4,000 metric tons of urea. So when they, it was like magic, They kept supplying the urea and everybody was seeing it coming in. And then the machines, we did some repairs here and there to reactivate. And then I now told the staff, look, this is your company. If you want it to work, it will work. If you don't want it to work, then the governor even at one point come and say, there is a lot of thievery going on. There's still a lot of things. So anyone you found guilty of stealing, sack him. Don't even let me know. Then I say, Your Excellency, we will do it, accordingly. We will follow the due process and do diligence to make sure everybody works. So we said, okay, let us start. Then what do we need? Then they say, okay, in addition, we need MOP, we need DAP, we need fillers. Then where are the sources? We now went into action. We refused to go through a third party that will inflate the price. So we went to buy the MOP. We bought them. We bought the DAP. We bought the filler. The filler normally looks like this. It is made in Katsina. So a lot of in Nigerian locally made. You find them. They are all over places making it. Even in Kano now, Janguza, they are making it. So we now say, okay, well, let us order it. We ordered over 4,000 metric tons. And since we started, initially, they say it's 20,000 per ton. And then the price, we keep bringing the price down. 18,000. Then somebody came of the same quality and say 13,000. I say, we have gotten another one. So we drop all those that are more expensive and then we resort to the cheaper ones. And then any raw materials like this MOP we buy. If I start to buy from you and then I realize that someone is selling it at lower price than you and is the same quality, automatically I drop and go to the person. So with this cost-saving measure, we were able to blend an NPK, and I can assure you, as it is today, we can challenge whoever is blending NPK like this, 25, 10, 20, 10, 10. Whoever is blending it cannot meet our standard. He cannot meet our standard in the sense that we have much advantage than him. The advantage of the government behind us. The Kano State government pays the salary of the staff. So we don't input the cost of salary into our fertilizer. So that was why I challenge anybody who can sell it at our price can never sell a good fertilizer. Secondly, also wear and tear of the machine. The capital, the money given to us by the Kano State government. And also the blending plant number 1 and plant number 2, they are there working. And luckily for us, even though they are old, the workers have the experience to make sure they work. Because there are some machines there now that has been there for over 20 years. But I can tell you, these machines are working now because of the experience of the workers. They were trained by the Danish when they came, and they were able to continue to use it. So when even we are looking for some parts for the machine, we contacted the Danish company, Greens it's called Greens Tech. Yes. So we caught them. We went to their internet. We got them. Then they told us, look, that type of machine you are using is outdated. We no longer work on that type of machine. So in fact, we are even out of Nigeria. So don't even talk to us about those machines again. We are far ahead of it. So now they link us with one of their employee who retires, who now came and was looking at it, and the machines, they are still working and blending, even though at a lower capacity.
The National Biosafety Management Agency is mandated to ensure biosafety in the adoption of modern biotechnology and deployment of such products into the country for national economic development. To achieve this, the National Biosafety Management has established and strengthened an institutional framework on biosafety matters in Nigeria to safeguard human health, biodiversity, and environment from adverse effects of genetically modified organisms. The National Biosafety Management Agency also creates a platform for public participation and awareness in the application and utilization of biotechnology and genetically modified organisms. Operators dealing with biotechnology products are strongly advised to contact National Biosafety Management Agency to regularize their activities just to avoid being sanctioned. National Biosafety Management Agency, ensuring biosafety in Nigeria.
Well, it's been very, very, very challenging, extremely challenging. But for me, in terms of my commitment, my passion, I gain satisfaction all the same. The road's been very rough. Rough because after a certain point, you find that you cannot just do it by yourself. I have had, I still do, situations where I began to think of how to add little value to what I was doing. Ever before, the government formally started thinking of this value addition thing, the chain. And the one thing you find is every government that comes on board talks of promoting agriculture. Every government talks about what was happening, pre and immediate post-independent period Nigeria. But it doesn't go beyond that substantially. If where it does, there is no management of whatever policy comes on board, there is no consistency in whatever policies are developed to promote agriculture. And more often than not, somewhere along the journey, whichever policy is brought on board, the ordinary farmer, the small-scale farmer is not placed in the center stage of the policies. As a result of that, we've got some distorted, development in the agricultural sector of our economy. Over and above that, the government, up to this point in time, I say so with every sense of responsibility, every government that has come past to date has not developed the right policy, let alone programs that get developed from the policies question, to ensure that the objective set out at the beginning of those policies are achieved, were achieved. There's no way you can feed a country of 170 million, we say we are, and you do not have on the table specific plans as to what feeding 170 million people mean. You do not have on the table what are the major staple foods of your population. You do not have on the table the quantum of each of these staple foods that you will require for the country's, development and food sufficiency. Not talk of any excesses you will have for export. Not talk of, I'm talking just food, not talk of industrial crops that you develop so that the industrial sector of the economy also will enjoy the multiplier. You don't have this. We don't have this. And if you take the agricultural sector beyond the primordial, we're in the rainy season now. If you go out of Kefi, if you came early, if you are out at 7 a.m. to 7:30, you still see in the outskirts, 3, 4, 5 kilometers out from town, you still see husband and wife working with bow and arrow, still with the cutlass, still with the bow, with the hoe and plow on his shoulders. And without exaggerating, you may see them with some small wood bearing fire to take to their farm. It's even worse if you go 10, 20 kilometers from the urban areas. That is what we are still living with. And how do you grow this? How do you go from that level to what we call commercial agriculture, large-scale agriculture, or even meaningful medium-scale agriculture? How do you go from there? You can't do it without financing. This country has yet to develop the kind of fiscal policy that will drive agriculture. We don't have it. We simply don't have it. They may vote some money and say, we're going to give so billion facilities to farmers and what have you. And there's no follow-up. There's no follow-up to the extent of saying, hey, we put this money there. How is it being used? What are the problems of creditors, debtors, whatever money we will give? The difference between grants and loans for to be repaid. How is the money administered? What did we use it for? What was the objective? What employees are we taking on board as a result of this policy that we have? How much of unemployment have we tried to overcome or to have resolved? Why the market? What is the role of this policy in that market? Why the infrastructure? If a farmer is producing a crop, and if you talk of value addition, what is being done to ensure that value addition? How does he get it? What is the infrastructure for value addition? How much of it is in place? If it is not in place, how do we provide it? Who provides it? It's not there. Why is extension work? Where is extension work? I am on this farm, and I have never, ever, since I started, been out of this farm, my foot being out of this farm for 30 days, ever. If I'm in Abuja, every weekend I'm here. If you see me going 2 weeks, 3 weeks I'm coming here, 2 weeks, I'm out of the country. And when I come, my first point of call will be my mother.
Welcome back, viewers. Hope you had a wonderful time. Hope we all agree that agriculture is something we all can evolve in. You can start by planting something behind your house today. You don't have to buy everything from the marketplace. This is the much time we permit us to take. Let's do this again. Same time, same station next week. God bless you, and we love you.